Hey there, friends. My name is Alyssa Crane. I'm a certified HR leader, author, and chief talent strategist at Powerhouse Talent. But even more importantly, I'm on a mission to spread peace, love, and meaningful careers. That's right. In this podcast, we're going to dig in to how to escape those legacy behaviors, spark a cultural metamorphosis, and change the energy of our organizations. So if you're allergic to that stuffy, robotic employee experience that has plagued organizations for far too long, and if you have an obsession with heart-centered employer branding, then we're going to be fast friends. So let's do this, people. It's time to spread peace, love, and meaningful careers. This episode is brought to you by Land Your Brand. If you haven't heard of Land Your Brand is an alternative to an employer branding agency. That's right. At Powerhouse, we're on a mission to democratize employer branding, making it accessible to all. Historically, it's only been those large multinationals who've been able to afford an employer branding agency. But I bet your organization has an epic story to share. So regardless of size, regardless of budget, we have solutions at Powerhouse. And one of those is Land Your Brand. Land Your Brand packages up our thinking, our methodology, our tools that have been simplified and skills you up. It doesn't just train you on what employer branding is and how to build an employer brand strategy. We actually guide you through the process as you build your very own for your organization. So it is both training and a blueprint, my friends. Plus, we are not stuffy corporate trainers. It's engaging, humanized learning that is modern, gets right at the point, and helps you reach those results that we are all looking for. So you can learn more over at powerhousetalent.ca. Just check out Land Your Brand over there or some of our other solutions. But let's get this party started, because today we are talking about a talent attraction strategy. So many folks call Powerhouse really desperate for some employer brand help because they're looking to improve their recruiting. And I'm very quick to clarify, and you've probably heard me on other podcasts saying that if you're only looking at this from the perspective of recruitment, you're being a little short-sighted. This has the power to transform one's culture. So even beyond talent attraction, this builds identity, this builds belonging, this builds employee pride. But going deeper into the core issue of how do we help talent attraction or recruitment, I'm gonna, put strategy first. As a strategist, I believe that just applying effort in random directions, that shiny object syndrome, is not the best approach. I love the energy, I love the passion, but let's start with strategy. That way we're applying that energy and that passion in the right places. And so what we've done at Powerhouse, we're really trying to make life within corporate HR so much simpler. I've been there. I spent most of my career on your side of the table in corporate HR. That's why I launched Powerhouse. I wanted a different style of agency, a different solution out there beyond the traditional billable hours model. And one of the solutions that we've developed is our talent attraction strategy, paperback. And so anyways, you can learn more about that over at powerhousetalent.ca, but we've packaged up our strategy framework. So today what I want to do is I actually want to take you through some of that framework so that you can do this work entirely on your own if you so choose. But again, most importantly, you can do this work. I don't want you applying that energy in random directions. I want those hours that you're spending laboring at this to be well spent. All right, so let's talk about some of the strategic pillars of one's overarching TA strategy. So the first thing I want to talk about are the strategic fundamentals. Those would be things like your employee value proposition, your employer brand, your career site, those core storytelling mechanisms that really set the foundation, that crystallize your why and come up with an amplification strategy. So if you haven't carved out those strategic fundamentals, I would recommend starting there. The next pillar, so that's pillar number one. Pillar number two would be one's talent philosophy. So we've all heard the build, buy, and borrow, but there are a few more pillars. So really dig into build, buy, borrow. And then there are some other things as you move into more advanced thinking around this to really stretch those traditional views on talent into more progressive ways of thinking of how to solve an issue. It's not always with a full-time FTE. There are more creative, more flexible, more agile, and progressive ways to solve our business problems and to achieve those business objectives. Okay, so really want to stretch that thinking. But if you haven't given thought initially to the build, buy, and borrow components of your talent philosophy, that is a great place to start. The third pillar that I want to talk about is building out the overall TA practice. So what does that mean? This is a lot of the heavy lifting. This is starting with what are those inclusive critical talent populations and inclusive personas. So what are the critical talent populations? And what are the inclusive personas that we would build? So within consumer marketing, they'll build customer personas. And so they have a really good understanding of their target audience. Within recruitment, we do want to know our target audience, but we don't want to be so prescriptive because we want to foster inclusion, belonging. We don't want a one-size-fits-all workforce. We want developers that are coming in with a variety of, backgrounds, of abilities. Perhaps they have a visible or invisible disability. Maybe they're at, maybe this is their second or third career within their overall life. So when we go at it solely from a singular persona in the world of talent attraction, we're not being our most inclusive selves. So you can still think about who is your target audience from a discipline, from an overall philosophy around work style. Are they somebody who prefers a more process mature environment? Are they somebody who thrives in your ever-changing environment? Because those stylistic considerations can make or break the experience. So those are really important to think about. But then stretch your thinking beyond that to say, what would a persona look like with somebody with an invisible disability? What would a persona look like for somebody who's coming in and who maybe this is their, third career? Maybe they're a retired military veteran. So really begin to stretch the thinking and build multiple personas per critical talent population. You'll want to start to think about channels and sourcing and campus and pipeline building. And there's even more to think about, but I don't want to boil the ocean. I don't want to overwhelm you, but I really just want to get the wheels turning. But that third pillar is all about the TA practice as a whole. The fourth pillar is about the candidate experience. This is where you drill down into, if we've done all this work to set the foundation, to understand our talent philosophy, to build out our practice, how do we ensure that we're honoring that why and delivering on that brand experience throughout the candidate life cycle? So this is where journey mapping would come in. This is where you would start to dig into those candidate enrichment tools. And the last pillar that I want to talk to you about is all about recruitment, marketing, and awareness building. And so this is where all of that work is brought to life. That could be through organic content, that could be through paid media, that could be through various recruitment marketing collateral and tools, and that could be through sharing, whether that's thought leadership, other ways of sharing within your industry and our ecosystem. So those are the 5 pillars that make up Powerhouse's talent attraction strategic framework. And if you do want help building out your own recruitment strategy or talent attraction strategy, we do have a solution that we've put together which trains you on our strategic framework, provides that framework for you to build out for your very own organization, and actually supports you with additional advisory calls. So when you have questions around, okay, Alyssa, we're kind of stuck on building out these personas, either me or someone from my team can be on those advisory calls helping to guide you. Okay, so it's a done with you service that is all about training, capability building, and advisory support. All right, so you don't always need an agency building net new for you. There are alternative solutions out there that can help you get to the finish line. So on that note, and as always, I am wishing you peace, love, and meaningful careers. Have a good one. Well, there you have it, friends, and there's more where that came from. So I want you to hop on over to powerhousetalent.ca to learn more about how we can work together and grab some of our awesome freebies, from our fun and engaging online programs to our full service employer branding and employee experience strategy practice. Powerhouse Talent is the place to be if you are looking to power up. So until next time, wishing you peace, love, and meaningful careers.